Hello and welcome back to the fourth episode of the PC podcast. I'm Hannah, and once again, I'm joined by
Faith and Lucia.
firstly, Happy New Year. We hope you had a wonderful Christmas and are excited for 2025. Many of you may not know, but this month is actually Veganuary, and we have two Year 11s here to talk about it.
We're here again with James and Amelia, and we're going to talk a bit more about Veganuary. Veganuary is this global challenge where people try going vegan for the whole month of January. It's all about exploring how eating more plant-based foods can help your health and the planet. So, Amelia, you're a vegetarian. Why did you decide to become a vegetarian?
I like animals. I don't know. It just felt bad, like, you know, eating them, if you know what I mean. Like like if I worked on a farm, I couldn't like kill the animal and then eat it. I don't know.
And do you struggle being vegetarian? Do you ever find any temptations?
Well, like I feel like it's a lot harder to like find food. Like say if you're going out to a restaurant or something, obviously a lot of them are vegan and vegetarian friendly now, but it's just sometimes you just look at the menu and it's like I remember getting that and it's just like, but like now it's like a lot more restrictions, if you know what I mean.
So, James, is there anything that you would ever order off the vegetarian menu in a restaurant?
Generally, I don't waste my time looking at the vegetarian menu because I find a lot of the time the options probably wouldn't be up to the standards of just the normal menu. I think it's quite restrictive, which is a larger problem with society as well, just being inclusive. But no, generally there wouldn't be anything I would order, no.
So, James, do you think you could survive a week being a vegetarian?
I think if I really tried, I could do it, but I think it's the same as Lent. I feel like as you get near and near the end, it's like you're just looking at that chocolate bar, or in this case, that steak, and it's difficult. Like it's difficult, but I think I could do it. Willpower.
And what do you think, like, the kind of hardest thing to give up would be? Meat.
Well, yes, I mean meat in general, but like bacon. I like bacon. It ain't great for you, but I feel like bacon's nice. Like put it in anything.
And Amelia, do you ever find there's any misconceptions about being vegan or vegetarian?
Right. Well, they're obviously on TikTok. There's that vegan teacher, and I feel like she just puts across a bad stereotype for like all vegetarians and stuff, thinking that we're all like psychopaths. But I don't know. A lot of people just stereotype that like all vegetarians and all are like anemic and whatever, and like underweight and whatever. But a lot of the time, they live healthy lifestyles.
And do you believe Veganuary is an important movement?
Well, like yeah, I think it can really give people a sense of what it's like to not eat meat because like even giving up meat, eggs, and dairy and all like that's a big thing. But even just giving up meat would like contribute towards the cause.
I feel like all movements, it is important that it has important elements, but I feel like sometimes they can be stereotyped in a way, or it can get a wee bit extreme. And though those more extreme people have louder voices, which does actually affect society's views. But I do think like all New Year's revolutions, so people going to the gym more saying they're going to stay sober, it's important to kind of increase our willpower. But again, it doesn't have much of an effect. It's only a month.
And Amelia, do you think that there's a plant-based meal that could win James over to the vegan vegetarian side?
Well, I don't know if I could pick just one. Like, I mainly survive off HelloFresh, and they have like probably about 100, maybe more vegetarian options, and they're all just like they're probably better than any meal I've ever had with meat.
So, Amelia, what about when it comes to lunchtime at school? Is the school canteen good for vegetarians or anything like that?
Well, in the canteen, I feel like it's very limited. Like a few days a week, there's not any options, but like some days there is like one or two. But I think it's just like most of the days I would get packed lunch, or just grab like a quick snack from the canteen.
I take your point, Amelia, but the main point of the canteen is that they cater for the masses and that those who do have extra dietary needs should maybe provide for themselves in a way, which I can see how, from that your viewpoint, would seem slightly exclusive. But I mean, that costs a lot. It does cost a lot to be able to get vegetarian options.
I just like to say that being vegetarian foods actually cost less money. Even providing a salad in the canteen would cost less than providing a shepherd's pie. And vegetarian meals also take well to preservation. Like they can be tinned, pickled, frozen.
So, do you have any tips for people who want to try Veganuary this month?
Well, I'm not trying Veganuary myself because my mother would never allow me. But like if you want to go vegetarian, then I definitely recommend doing like a lot of research online, because I know a lot of like deficiencies and all can take place if you don't do your research. But I think overall it is for the greater good.
So thank you so much to Amelia and James for their input. So girls, what do we think about what they were saying?
Personally, I think that Veganuary is a really great idea, especially it's like a trial from January. But as someone who plays a sport, I feel like I'd struggle with getting the right nutrients and everything that I need in a good quantity, like protein and iron. I feel like I'd struggle through that. What about you, Lucia?
I definitely love the idea of Veganuary. I think starting the year off with like a month of no meat, it kind of, how would I put this? It makes you determined at the start of the year. You know, you want to do something and you have a goal and you set yourself out and you do it, if that makes sense. And I encourage everyone to try it. I think it's a very fun way to start the year, 2025. And even if you haven't started already, maybe you should get onto that right now.
Yeah, and just to go back to what Lucia said, I mean, even like you could start it, and if you don't like it, then you don't like it. You know, you could always just do it for that month. But if you find you do, you can keep it going, and maybe even you would find there could be health benefits, the way Amelia said.
Even after Veganuary, like Faith was saying, it's nice to implement plant-based meals into your diet. My family and I, instead of chicken, sometimes opt for corn chicken instead. And genuinely, for me, I think it's just the same. Maybe some people won't say the same, but I love it, and I think it's a nice way to promote sustainability as well.
Even if you're a wee bit scared or unsure about giving Veganuary a go, you could start by implementing things like a meatless Monday, where you avoid meat or you use substitutes like corn, or you could try just one night a week, giving it a go. And that is the end of this episode of the podcast. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at PC_journalism. Subscribe and like and put on your notifications to know when we post the next episode. And if you haven't got a New Year's resolution yet, why not come up on a Monday break time to room 21 and join Journalism Club? And if you have any more ideas for the podcast, leave them in the comments below and we'll maybe look into them.
Special shout out to the vegans out there who've listened to the end.
Thanks
for listening.